Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's go ahead and talk about this thing because this is, this is something that right up my alley right here. Because see, I'm the type of guy. I'm a laid back and I'm a chill dude, and I'm very approachable and I'm a very pleasant person. But if you ever cross that line, you're gonna see that other side, and I'm all about that action, right? So this story came out, and I saw the video to where Blueface and Krishan, I guess they had a meeting with Krishan's family, and Krishan's family had some issues with how Blueface was treating her, particularly Krishan's father. And so at some point in the conversation, Krishan's father swung on Blueface. Now, Blueface for the past probably I say about year or so, he been doing that celebrity boxing. So he been training and stuff like that. What's going on, Hurricane? Blessings to you. And so the brother got some skills. He ain't just no little punk out here. And so Krishan daddy swung on him thinking that he was gonna catch him and do what a daddy do to defend their child and to defend the honor of their child. But he slipped up, messed around, and missed. And Blueface came back and caught that nigga with I don't know if he hit him with a 2 piece of the biscuit. I don't know if he hit him with a 5 piece. I don't know if he hit him with a 2 for 2. But whatever he hit him with, dropped him. Now, I shouldn't be laughing at this because this is really a toxic situation that I've talked about before. And I said that this can possibly end up in somebody dying at the end of this relationship. Probably Blueface, because we have a lot more females nowadays who are out here about that business and letting that thing go. And so we can't put aside the fact that she may just snap and may take that young brother's life. But I have a question for everybody. Everybody coming in, everybody that's gonna listen to this episode. If your mate, your spouse, whatever, if you're having to sit down and talk with their parents, their family, and they daddy or they mama get up and swing on you, how would you respond to that? Would you fire off on pops? You know what I'm saying? And now see, at my age group, that's kind of hard for me to think of because I think about my wife's father and cool dude. Salute to you, Mr. Lee Mack. And it's funny because my wife's father's last name is Mack, and my last name is Mackin. So really, all you gotta do is add "in" to her last name. But that's just a sidebar. But you say you would get up and walk out. You know, I'd like to think that me being older and me being mature, that if indeed my wife's father swung on me, that I would turn the other cheek and walk away, which I probably would because of the age and all of the different things that come into play. My wife, daddy, like 70 something years old. Come on. So I'm not going to square up with this old man and duke it out over something that he feels I did to his daughter. I'm not going to do that. But these young dudes out here will. These young dudes out here will fire off on your daddy. So all you young ladies, I want to put this PSA out there. When you dealing with a dude and you know that dude is aggressive and you know that dude will throw hands and you know that dude will put his hands on you, and you bring your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, your father into that scenario for you to get him, make sure that they got the skills to be able to get him, because you're going to send your family members out there to get their head knocked off sometimes, and sometimes they may just get shot. So be careful with that. Blueface, keep your hands off of females, bro. Now, I did see the one video where she was grabbing all on you and she was doing all that in public. Yeah, I saw that. But still, bro, we are the physically dominant gender. There's no discussion, there's no debate about this. And so we have to be mindful of what we're doing with these females out here, because this, I'm telling you now, I'm that pops that will pull up on you, and I'm not gonna miss like Krishan Daddy did. I already been through this scenario with one of my daughter's boyfriends before. And yeah, he's seen the whole shoulder work. He saw how both of my shoulders work. And I'm telling you now, we have to be able to learn conflict resolution overall. You said you would throw hands, but not on a parent ever. It depends. It depends. You're not gonna sit there and just keep on hitting on me. I might let you get away with one, but if you come at me again, I'm gonna have to slide you. So that's just that. I'll give you that one opportunity. I'll give you that out. I'll give you that. You feel like I did your baby wrong. You wanted to teach me a lesson. That one punch is all you gonna get to teach a lesson to me. Anything after that, you getting slid. I'm sorry. But yeah, we have to learn conflict resolution, because there are a lot of these situations that can be avoided if we just take our emotions out of it. And I know it's hard to do when it comes to your children, but even with your children, you have to take your emotions out of it sometimes, because your children is out here doing some foul stuff to these people that they're not willing to tell you about. They only want to tell the other side of the story, which is the response from that other person. And so, dads, when you running out here on behalf of your children or your spouse or whoever, and you're trying to defend their honor, make sure you got the whole story before you run up on the situation. Now, the situation with my daughter, I knew the backstory, I knew their history together, and so when I got on the scene, I was well prepared for whatever, because for one, I know my daughter, and for two, I know the dude that she was messing with. And so I had to see what was really going on. And I saw and heard for myself. And it warranted me to let this young brother know that it ain't going to go the way he think it's going to go. But that's not always the case. I would like to have been able to talk it out with the young man, but when you mix alcohol and relationship problems, you come with a toxic situation. And that's what I was walking into. And so this young man wasn't probably in the right mindset to want to talk, but I think he should have sobered up a little bit and took that option, because what happened afterwards was not good for him. And he still got a gap between his teeth because of that. So I'm just saying, man, I would like to have sat down and talked with that dude, because after, well, it wasn't a fight, because a fight means that both people got to be hitting each other, and it wasn't like that. So after the beat down, for lack of a better word, I texted him and I was like, "You understood why I did what I did, right?" Because we had this conversation at the very beginning when y'all started talking, that if you have an issue with my daughter, if y'all are arguing and stuff like that, and it's getting real high pressure and intense, walk away, bro. Go out that door, walk around the block if you need to, get in your vehicle and go elsewhere if you need to, but do not put your hands on my daughter. Well, situation arose and he put his hands on my daughter, and I broke him down like a 12 gauge shotgun. But as time progressed, after she went back to this dude time and time again, I was like, I'm not going to keep going over there and fighting this dude who obviously don't have no respect for you or me. I'm not going to keep coming over there and being the mediator or being the referee to y'all issues. And so she had to learn and she had to understand that that it wasn't going to go down like that, that she wasn't always going to be able to call in the cavalry after she done started some stuff. And so I've been through that, and I see where the father is coming from, but I also see where Blueface is coming from. You're not gonna swing off on me like that, because her father was not the only male that was there on behalf of Krishan. So if the father would have landed that punch, those other dudes was coming. They probably did anyway, because the video after, Blueface slept the daddy, it kind of was, you didn't really see much of what was going on. There was too much chaos going on and stuff. So you didn't really see the other people who tried to jump in, the other guys that was with Krishan Daddy who tried to, nobody got to see any of that. All we saw was him swing on Blueface, and Blueface come at him and blacked and blued his face. That's what happened. I mean, that's the only way that I can describe it. So, you know, I will fight for the honor of the women in my family. I come from a family that is predominantly female, but the males in my family have always protected the females in the family. But the females in my family can definitely protect themselves. Yeah, all of my cousins, a majority of my aunties, my mama, all of them, they got them hands. They throw them hands too. Free wheel hands. I call them freelance hands. They go anywhere. And so if I ever have an issue to where, now let's change the scenario up a little bit, to where my wife's mom was to put hands on me, I never ever put my hands on her. First and foremost, I love my mother-in-law to death, man. That's my heart right there. Next to my mom, they right there. So I could never imagine anything like that even taking place. But I have had situations where a female that I was with, their sister or a cousin felt like they wanted to put their hands on me. And I'll put this disclaimer out there for them real quick. Before you come over here thinking that it's sweet and thinking you're going to put your hands on me, I have a whole bunch of cousins and sisters and aunts lined up just ready to pop off. So before you come over here with that energy, be sure that that's what you want. And then when I start naming off my family members, everybody where I'm from know my family very well, because we're one of the largest families in the city, for one. Most of my family members are involved in everything from criminal activity all the way down to law enforcement. And they know the women in my family that are some headbangers, the ones that's out there that got them real hands, that's really some thumpers. And so when I start naming off who my family are, and they hear some of those key head busters, they back down. Oh, why you gotta bring so and so into it? They don't want no parts of that. And so I let them know off top, before you come over here with that, I'm not gonna put my hands on you. I'm not gonna hit you. But I guarantee you, I got somebody that's gonna rock your snot box, as Hassan Campbell like to say. Yeah, man, it's a crazy situation. I would hate to have that in my relationship. That's something that you and your girl, or you and your guy, may not be able to come back from. And so, keeping this in mind, I say to you, Blueface, man, stay away from that woman family. Stay away from that woman's family, because this is a piece of advice that I was given a long time ago, and I always stand by this. When you and your girl, or you and your guy, having difficulties and differences in your relationship, don't go back telling your family all your business. Don't go back telling your cousins all your business, because they gonna stay mad at that person while you forgive them. And while y'all laid up in the bed and y'all have makeup sex and do all of that good stuff and whatever, your family members are still stewing over what you told them about this person. So you can't then turn around and bring that person to the family reunion or the family get together and think that everybody is supposed to be okay with it, when you done sat there and talked about this dude like a dog to him, or you done talked about this female like a dog to them. And that's something that I've always brought into every relationship. And I always laid that down in the beginning. Whatever issues we have with each other outside of physical danger, whatever issues we talking about, whatever problems we have, don't be telling everybody our business. Don't be putting your family in our business, because whenever we make up and we get back together or whatever, and your family come at me looking crazy and talking crazy, I'm gonna have that same energy for them. So I put that warning out there because I want to make sure that they understand who they're dealing with, so that they'll think a little bit before they start calling up these cousins and calling up these uncles and stuff like that. You know, I make it very clear to them. If you love your family members, you will think twice about trying to sick them on me, because I'm telling you now, they can come over as a group and jump me. They might just get me as a group, but best believe I got all black. And I'm going to creep around in that all black, and I'm going to catch each one of them by themselves, and I'm going to give them that get back that they deserve. So I put these disclaimers out there with anybody that I deal with, so that they understand what type of energy is coming with me if somebody decide that they want to try to harm me for something I said or something I did. If I cheated on that woman and you feel some type of way about it, and you feel like you want to come and put hands on me, you better think twice. You're not going to hurt me. You're not going to harm me. If I say something to her that offends her, that makes her mad or makes her cry or hurts her feelings, and you feel like you want to do something about it, you better come talk to me like a man. Because if you come with that crazy energy, I'm going to give you that crazy energy right back. That's a given. But I'm very open to discuss anything. You right, absolute stealth mode. Straight up, straight like that. But I'm always open for discussion. That's always going to be my first suggestion, is to talk this out. And if I see at some point that you're getting hyped up and you balling up your fists and your nostrils are flaring, all of those signs that's telling me that you really want it, then I'm going to prepare myself mentally. I'm going to prepare myself emotionally and physically for what I'm about to do to you. And see, I have this flaw to where I think can't nobody beat me. I think there's nobody that can beat me. I think on any given day I can get Mike Tyson if I catch him with the right punch. That's just how I feel about myself, you know. But in the same token, I understand, because I've been trained, because I'm a skilled fighter, and because if I do actually put my hands on somebody, then they're going to hold me a little bit more responsible than the other person who haven't been trained in any type of combat. Then I have to practice patience. I have to practice self-discipline. I have to practice emotional intelligence. That is something that I was introduced to a few years ago, and that's something that probably saved me in a lot of situations. What's up, Cynthia? It's always a blessing to see you, Queen. Um, so that's something that over the past few years that I've definitely been paying close attention to, and I've been working on, is emotional intelligence, because it is very important that you understand how to conduct yourself, and you understand how to navigate through these different situations without getting out of character, getting out of line, and causing a situation that could have been handled had you kept your cool. And so I've been practicing emotional intelligence for the past, I say, 2 or 3 years. And it's helped me out a lot in my relationship. It's helped me out in my relationship with my children. It's helped me out in my relationship with other people. It's helped me out with interactions that I've had with people out in society. Because I tell people all the time, a couple months ago, matter of fact, on Mother's Day, there was an incident where I got into a spirited debate with my Hebrew Israelite brothers, and the old me, the old Mac, oh, I would have snatched the mic out of that dude's hand, tossed it somewhere. I would have kicked over their little speaker, all of that stuff that they use to speak over you and try to drown you out. The old Mac would have, yeah, it would have been on and popping out there. Them in they gold and purple, and me in whatever color I got, and I would have been out there about all of it. But because I've been practicing emotional intelligence, shalom, absolutely. Because I've been practicing emotional intelligence, I was able to voice my opinion to my brothers, and shout out to my Hebrew Israelite brothers, because I don't have any hatred for those brothers or anything like that. What I do have is a problem with the spirit in which they come at people and talk to people, but that's just between us, and I've talked to them about that. And so I gotta get in there. I'm a confrontational guy. Like I said, it goes back to, some things in my life, but I am a confrontational guy, but I also understand how to talk to him in my anger, and how to not sin in my anger. That's very important, is to not sin in my anger, because there's nowhere in the Bible where it tells you that anger is a sin. But so many people will try to give you that narrative and try to make it seem like you're never supposed to be angry, and you're never supposed to be motivated to do anything by anger. If that's the case, then why do we have the term righteous indignation? Righteous indignation is the label that they used whenever Jesus went up in the church and started flipping over the changers tables and all of that stuff. So why is it convenient when it comes down to explaining what Christ did, but I can't get out here and do it because you'll call me aggressive and you'll say that I'm not a child of God because I displayed anger, even though I didn't sin in my anger, but I displayed anger. I displayed displeasure and disappointment. And you trying to tell me that me as a man of God, I'm not saved because I got angry? See, that's people with a lack of understanding, who don't understand emotional intelligence, and who don't understand life and what being a Christian and what being saved really is. You don't understand it. You come with these stereotypes of what Christians are supposed to be. And anytime you see a Christian or somebody professing Christ act outside of that, you want to say, look at him. But see, Satan has always been the accuser of the brethren. He's always looked for an opportunity to try to expose what he considers to be non-Christian behavior. And so when I see people like that, I'll slap them. Yeah, that's right. And I'll still be saved after I slap them, because I'm confrontational like that. But I'm going to give them every opportunity to get away. I'm going to give them that out. It says that if when you're in Christ, if you have a situation or you have a temptation that comes your way, it says that he always gives you a way out. So I'm going to always give you a way out. I'm not just going to fire in on nobody just because we're having a heated conversation. I'm always going to give you a disclaimer, and I'm always going to give you a way out. And if you choose not to take that way out, what did Jesus say? Choose life or choose death. I would that you choose life. And that's the same attitude that I carry before I put them hands on you. Choose this day, life or death. Choose this day, beat up or going home okay with a better understanding of your brother. I give those options. And so whatever you choose is what you deserve. Whatever you choose is what you wanted. So don't get upset, and you can't blame me whenever you get exactly what you want. How Kevin Hart say, oh, I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you want. Absolutely going to give you what you want. So don't get mad when you get it. And take it home with you and show it to everybody. Because them lumps is for everybody. You said there should always be options. There should be, but people do not practice emotional intelligence. And that's one of the main problems that I found. I just was never thinking about it to articulate it. But that's the key component to all of this violence, all of this chaos, and all of this division that's going on is the fact that people do not have emotional intelligence. It is a thing, my people. You do have to learn how to handle situations and how to govern your emotions in these situations, my people. It is an actual thing. I'm telling you, but we don't consider these things. We don't think we have the time to consider these things. But when you start going to therapy and you start going to counseling and stuff like that, you're going to be introduced to a lot of this stuff. Y'all tripping. That is, I mean, I'm gonna give you what you want, but gun compartment. Hey, speaking of that, man, just a little bit off topic, but I just did a TikTok and I posted it to my channel, man, and it's funny and it's in the same line of what I'm talking about right now. It's called Serenading the Ops, or I think that's what I titled it, something like that. But it's pretty funny, man. Y'all just check out my TikToks that I be putting on my YouTube page. Most of them are funny, just for entertainment purposes and stuff like that. I hope you get a good giggle out of it. But yeah, I definitely am going to protect myself against anybody who feels like they're gonna come and put their hands on me. I definitely, if it's somebody of the other gender, then I definitely will call the police on you. Yeah, I will. I absolutely will. If it's to the point to where you're uncontrollable and I'm trying to walk away, but you're not allowing me to walk away and you hit me all in my back, because we know this happens a lot too. I'm calling the police on you. I'm not going to buy in to what you want. I'm not going to put my hands on a female. That's just not in me to do. I feel like any man who put their hands on a female in an aggressive way is a straight weenie. You're a wimp. You sorry. You a hoe. You everything that takes away from what masculinity is in my eyes. I never sit by or stand by and let somebody beat on a woman and me not say anything about it. You know, so I just put that out there like that. I'm not gonna hit no female, but like I said, I got aunties and daughters. Oh my gosh. I If I call my daughter Tamaria, I don't have to call nobody else. She's the end all be all. But see, I wouldn't put my daughter in that type of danger because I don't know what other people are capable of doing whenever they see that type of threat coming at them. So, you know, I tell people, hey, we need to talk this out because the next step, you don't want that. So I just, think about these things on a regular basis. And this is something that I was thinking about as I sat and watched this toxic, stupid, silly, embarrassing video between Blueface, his girl, and her family. It's very embarrassing, but it's just one more opportunity to show the dysfunction in the black family. And so I don't know if that was really an example of dysfunction in the black family rather than dysfunction in their relationship, because that family was there to support Krishan. That family was there ready to fight on her behalf because they had a problem with the way that she was being treated, because they felt like she could do better. And so that actually was an example of a convoluted example, but nonetheless an example of a black family supporting another family member. But it just always gets so twisted, man. And we always come out with the short end of the stick every single time, no matter what, because no matter which side was right, the other side that's wrong still looks bad on us as a people. And so I feel like, if y'all got to continue to put hands on somebody, y'all got to continue to put hands on each other. Y'all don't need to be together. Leave that relationship. Yeah, I said it. Leave that relationship. Now, see, my wife, she's real big on encouraging people to stay in relationships and marriages and stuff. But I'm that realist, and I'm going to tell you, some marriages need to be broken up. Some people need to divorce. Some couples need to split up. Some dudes need to leave that woman. Some women need to leave that man. This is a reality, and anybody who speaks otherwise are delusional and not operating in reality of the place where relationships are at right now in this day and age. So I'm just devil's advocate, really. I love to play devil's advocate because it's easy to go along with the grain and go with the flow and agree with everything that everybody else say, but it's challenging whenever you're the only one who has an opinion that opposes everybody else. And I love that. I love to be the bad guy sometimes. It's necessary to have the bad guy sometimes so that you can gain the proper perspective. But either way it go, you're not putting your hands on me. Whoever you are, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you love your daughter. You're not putting your hands on me. If we can't talk about it, then, I don't know what to tell you. Because for one, I don't put my hands on women, so there'll never be a man approaching me about me putting my hands on a female in an aggressive manner. So I ain't even worried about that scenario. So anybody that would step to me about a female would be stepping to me about something I said to that female, or something that I did to that female, as far as betrayal or trust or something like that. And I'm telling you, anything like that does not warrant you to put your hands on me. So if you don't know how to talk things out, you don't understand conflict resolution, and you don't have any emotional intelligence, I suggest that you keep your peace. Keep your peace. Hold your peace. Because if not, you're gonna be holding your teeth if you run up on me. That's just what it is. Straight like that. And like I said in the very beginning, I'm a very nice guy. I'm a pleasant person to be around. I always making sure that people around me are comfortable in my environment or in our environment, wherever we are. And I just want people to have a good time and enjoy themselves. And if we do have an issue, to be able to talk through it. That way we come out on the other end with a better understanding of each other and a different level of respect for each other. That's what it's all comes down to, is respect. So if you can't respect me and respect the fact that that your child has issues, that your child can press buttons, that your child has a short temper, that your child has a big mouth that pop off all the time, that your child has violent tendencies, don't come at me like your child is just all innocent and I'm just this monster, because it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. First and foremost, I'm going to let you know what happened, the whole story, because there's nobody on this earth that I'm afraid of, that I feel like I would have to lie to. And then it's going to go from there. So whatever you decide after you hear that, you brought it on yourself. You said, don't get on my bad side. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Please don't get on my bad side, because it's very hard. Once you get on my bad side, it's very, very tough for you to get back in my good graces. It really is. It's very tough, because now there's a trust factor that has been breached. At that point, I can't trust you, because you're not emotionally intelligent enough to be able to resolve this issue without all of that extra. So once you make that first mistake and you get on my bad side, you might as well pitch a tent and get your groceries, because you're going to be there for quite a while. Quite a while. And that don't mean that when I see you, I'm gonna treat you bad and I'm gonna talk crazy to you or nothing like that. I'm just not gonna fuck with you. It's just that simple. I'm not going to, and I don't have to, and that is my choice. And if I do so, everybody knows why. There's never going to be, I don't even know why he act like that towards me. Everybody's going to know why I act the way that I act towards you. Best believe that. Say that extra got a tooth knocked out by me. That's it. And we don't want to be like that. We don't want to have to put hands on nobody in that fashion. But at the same time, we're not going to just let you hurt us. Who does that? So this is just a warning I'm putting out there. Not a warning, but more of a public service announcement. I love to do the PSAs. Keep your hands to yourself. If you have a problem with your daughter's boyfriend, this is for the fathers. If you have a problem with your daughter's boyfriend, and every time you turn around, she's calling you to come to her rescue, but yet and still she go right back to that same dude, at what point are you going to say, don't call me no more with this mess? Because as a father, one of my worst fears is that my daughter gets into it with a guy, and because of these past actions, I call her bluff and don't come to her rescue, and the dude actually do something to really, really hurt or maybe even take the life of my daughter. That's one of my biggest fears with all my daughters. And so I'm in a tough spot, but at the same time I have to trust that I've raised my daughters to be the type of women who are not putting their hands on men, and who understand how to resolve a conflict and how to talk through stuff without putting their hands on a man, without provoking all of this extra aggression. I've taught them, I've raised them, but I understand that even though you've been raised and taught a certain way, that sometimes you get caught up in the situation and the emotions are high and things happen. I understand those. But when I see a pattern of you thinking that I'm going to come and be your savior every time, and you think that that's your justification and your license to jump up in the dude's face, guess what? You're going to be asked out. Because after that first time and you go back to him, no, ain't no more of that. Y'all better talk it out, or you better call the police. Because for one, you're not thinking about the situation that you're putting me in. Now, as bad as I think I am, it's some dudes out here who got some hands too. It's some dudes out here who keep a gun on them and say they're not going to allow nobody to put their hands on them, just like me. And so when I pull up to that situation and that dude pull out a gun and shoot your daddy, how you gonna feel? How are you gonna feel? So I just have them to think. Think before you react. Think before you react. Think before you react. Keep telling that to yourself over and over again, so that you have it in your mind of minds. You have it at the forefront of your mind to think before you act. Emotional intelligence. That's the word of the day. Well, the two words. That is the term of the day. Emotional intelligence. I behoove everybody to practice emotional intelligence. Look it up, research it, understand it, and begin to practice it in your life. I'm telling you, it will change a whole lot of situations. some situations where that event would mess your day up and your response would mess up a situation and cause an awkward moment, you will avoid a whole lot of those if you only become more emotionally intelligent. So that's all I really got to say on this, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all for coming in and rocking with me like y'all do, because y'all definitely give me the opportunity to talk the way I want to talk, and I talk to y'all like I talk to anybody else. Y'all, it's just like if my god kids pull up and want to have a conversation with me, or if any of the younger guys and females that I mentor and talk to want to pull up and talk to me. This is how I talk to them. When I'm mentoring, I'm not sitting there trying to act like that I'm somebody who know everything, because they'll ask me a question. I'll be like, you know what? I don't even know. Let's find out together though. And then we proceed to find out. So not only am I showing them that I'm humble enough to let them know that I don't know everything, but I'm also going to show you how to find out the things that you're concerned about or you're wondering about, because it's amazing to me that we live in the age of information, but a lot of these kids don't even know what information to look up. They don't know what to research. There's so much stuff out there in the social media world. There's so much stuff out here in the internet world that they really don't know what to look up. They really don't know what to type in order to bring up the topic of conversation that they need clarity on. And so I'll go through that with them and help them, because they ask me a lot of times, where'd you find that at? How'd you find that? Bro, it's a Google search. And then that Google search is going to give me some references. And then I'm going to cross-reference that with this reference right here. And then I'm going to get a couple more resources that's talking about this, so that I can compare all of these notes and I can come together with a general consensus that I can go out and I can confidently speak about that. I do this because you would think that people know, but not everybody know. And as people, most of us are afraid to ask questions because we don't want to be seen as dumb or ignorant or anything like that. And so I give the preemptive strike and go ahead and put that suggestion out there so that we can learn together. And one thing that's going to do is bring our bond closer together too. Man, it's definitely every day of life is full of something. Every day of life is exciting and it's new. Every single morning I wake up and open my eyes and say my prayers and my thank yous. This day is never going to be like any other day that I've had in my life up to this point. Today, the things that have taken place on today, yeah, I've done a lot of things that I routinely do, but this day is not like any other day that I've had before, and it won't be like any other day that I'll have after. And so I understand that, and I appreciate each day for what it is, because I'm going to learn something new every single day. I'm going to experience something new every single day, and I look forward to those things. Yeah, you're a research fanatic. I am too. I will. Don't tell me that I don't know something, or don't tell me that I'm wrong about something that I know I'm right about. Oh man, you would never hear the end of that. Never, never. That's something that I still got to work on too. And you said your kids are too. It's important for them to understand researching and how to separate the truths from the fallacies, because like I stated in the past, they no longer can suppress information. But what they can do is saturate the internet with so much information that you don't know what's right and you don't know what's wrong. That's their way of hiding things now. And so we have to teach our kids how to be able to separate the truth from the lies and the speculations from the facts. Got to do that. That gives them opportunity to make the best decision possible for them. Yes, you said, especially on Israelite history. And I'm going to do an episode about my experience with my Hebrew Israelite brothers and my whole journey on my study of the Hebrew Israelites and just Israelites, period. Because there's a lot of that doctrine that I still hold. There's a lot of that doctrine that is absolute fact. But the spirit in which a lot of us pick up whenever we find out these truths and these facts is very harsh, and it's very brash, and it's very bitter, because when you discover that you've been lied to your whole life, and a lot of the things that have been taught to you and passed down for generations is not the truth, that makes you angry, that makes you bitter. And if you're not careful, that is going to come out in every single one of your presentations. And that was a big problem that I had when I was going through my experience and doing my research and even becoming a Hebrew Israelite back in the 90s. And so I know what these brothers is on. I know what they're feeling. I know where all of that energy is coming from. I know the motivation of it. I've been there, done that over 20 years ago. And so I'm going to do a show talking about my experience in discovering the Hebrew Israelite culture. But yeah, on this subject right here, I'll say exactly what Hurricane and what Cynthia been saying this whole time. It's best to walk away. It's best to walk away. Hold your peace. Walk away. If they persist, call law enforcement or something like that, but don't put your hands on those people, because it's just going to cause a rift, and it's always going to cause tension, and it's going to be an inconvenience whenever you're trying to have family gatherings and things of that nature, because now you're not invited because you done knocked out the patriarch. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to the family reunion if I done knock pop out. How you gonna look? Yeah, that's that nigga right there. Do me like you did pop. Okay. Bow. Now I got another family member that I done knocked out. I'm not gonna put myself in that, so I'm gonna try to walk away. Y'all gave the best advice, and that's what I'm gonna end this on. Walk away. Always walk away. Unless you D-Mac. But, but hey, much love to y'all for coming in. I always appreciate y'all, and that's real from the heart. Anybody else who comes in and views this, feel free to put your comments and what you would do, how you would respond down in the comments, and I promise you that I'm going to interact with you. And yeah, much love to everybody, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones. And if you run up on me with your family, I might not. I was playing. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out, y'all. Blessings.